Hello, this is Valerie Aiello, and you are listening to Idea Diary. So I'm back. I am recording a double show today, so you're listening to day 2 or the next episode of a review on the Success Principles Handbook by Canfield. So I bought the book, read it took me 2 days. Could have definitely done it in one. And the book was $20, and there's also a little video course you can get. Once you have your receipt, you can get a video, I don't know, it's like an hour and 45 minutes YouTube video. Wow, I'm growing up my bangs and I can just feel them getting crazy right now. So we're just gonna move on. Not gonna worry about the hair. Okay, so I went through Chapter 1 through 7, now we're on Chapter 8. So Chapter 8 was about the other side of fear. I don't know, I think we all kind of know, I mean, not everybody, but a lot of times some people can't get over their fear. This chapter is about that you kind of just have to take a leap of faith sometimes. Chapter 9 was about asking. You need to know what you want and what you need. Sometimes you got to ask for help without fear of rejection. And then he kind of mentions, are you saying no to yourself before someone else can say no to you? I thought that was insightful. And always ask for what you want and don't ask for what you don't want, because the brain has a difficulty registering negative words. So, just ask somebody who probably knows. If you're asking somebody for something that you know that they can give it to you, you need to ask them in the way that you expect them to say yes. Don't go kind of sheepishly asking for something that you want, that you know that they can give you, that you don't go asking and with the intention that they're going to say no. And that when they say yes, you're lucky. Go there thinking they're going to say yes. Chapter 10, ask for feedback. So this was where I kind of disagreed a little bit from his opinion, which I don't really, it's okay if you think somebody has if you have 2 record covers and you want to ask somebody who likes really cool stuff what their favorite option is, or there's things you can ask for people's opinions, but you really don't want to ask a lot of people for a lot of opinions, because if you're making something, you want to make sure you like it. And a lot of times when you get a lot of opinions, you end up not making the right choice for you. You end up making a million other people happy except for you. His opinion on feedback was this whole worksheet and everything, and I just kind of wouldn't personally do that, but that's me. Kind of get used to having critical opinions and get used to not getting your feelings hurt. I agree with that for sure. I think doing client work and doing a lot of design projects, I pretty much don't get my feelings hurt about anything. And if you have a million ideas and somebody doesn't like one, you've got a million more. So it's just kind of I always come to the table with I'm here to make stuff happen. So if thing A is going to work, then let's talk about B, C, D. There's a million other ways we could make this happen. So I don't know. I don't really get my feelings hurt. The one thing I would say is if you have customers, test. That is the one thing that I do believe in feedback. If you have customers, make sure they have a way to make comments, give you feedback, a really easy way to, just basically a lot of testing, a lot of feedback options. I would say don't ask friends for feedback. If you can pay for a professional, like a consultant or something at that level, that's better than asking friends, because friends don't always know what you're doing, or they're not your perfect customer. It's kind of complicated, but the feedback thing kind of made me nervous to tell the millions of people. I don't know. It was kind of a little bit overboard for my taste, but that's me. It's not that it's wrong. It's just everyone has a different way of doing things. So Chapter 11, practice persistent, take action despite all challenges. I definitely agree with that. Never give up. I agree with that. Be ready for challenges that you cannot, that you could see coming. The writing's on the wall. This is going to be a problem. Like, have some solutions under your belt. So I guess it's kind of, he talks about plan B for all potential obstacles, which I feel like it's kind of the same thing. For me, I would add to be ready to pivot, because a lot of times an idea, it's not its time. So sometimes you have to shelve some things so that you can work on things that it is their time for their idea. You know what I'm saying. Some things are ready to go and like, let's work on them now. And some things you might wish they were ready, but it's just not going to happen. And sometimes things you have to pivot. Pivot is like the main thing, I think, when you're an entrepreneur that you need to understand is sometimes your plans aren't going to work exactly how you want. And sometimes you need to just like make a little switch. And then it's like, oh my God, this is so easy now. This is what people want. Or this is what's going to make money right now, even though it's not perfect. Like, let's just run with it. Practice. Don't give up. But beware of pivoting if there's like a better way of doing something. Okay. This is still chapter 11. Read biographies. I'm a big believer in that. Comeback stories, I feel like, are really inspirational. So definitely spend some time doing some biography research. And keeping a running list of faults and bounce backs seem to be a good idea. Keeping a list of your own failures and the ways that you made solutions. I've never really done that before, and I found that to be a really cute idea. I feel like it might suck to just think about all the ways things went wrong, but at the same time, you're still alive. You're still making it happen. You're still working on stuff. Chapter 13, clean up messes and incompletes. So he said we have emotional and physical block, and they take away your attention, and also makes you feel like you can't handle bigger problems because you can't solve these old ones that aren't dealt with. I agree with all that. Then he talks about decluttering, which 100% you have to not have no junk drawers, nothing gross, not even gross, just no secret closets that you have been sitting there for years and years and years, I really believe in that. I like multitasking, so I kind of like having some things halfway done, some things, different things to work on in different stages. So it's not the same thing as being incomplete, but just kind of, for me, incomplete things aren't the end of the world. He has something called 6 stages total truth process that I thought was interesting. So listing all your incomplete things. I guess that was it about chapter 13. So chapter 14, surround yourself with success. And he does the quote, the Jim Rohn quote, that's you're the average of the 5 people you hang out with. And that's my biggest pet peeve of my whole life. I do not like that saying, because you do not dump your friends who love you because you think they're not successful enough for you to hang out with. It's not how it works. You do, however, can keep your old friends, and you can go out and meet new people to add to your life. And if you're friends with bad people in general, I think you have more things to deal with than just not being able to find successful people to be in your life. So he talks about the mentor or the coach. And if you can get a coach and you can afford one and you have money to lose, because a lot of times coaches really aren't going to help you. Some will, I'm sure, but a lot of times it's not the solution that people want. And mentors, don't wait around for a magical mentor. It's never going to happen. It could happen, but what if it doesn't? I feel like the mentor thing is kind of if you get lucky. And when you're out there and you're trying to meet people and do things, there's going to be people that are doing what you're doing that want to hang out with you and want to talk to you. And that's kind of how you grow, I guess, in a way. And I'm just saying this, people do not like to be asked for help for free. Like, just don't offer to take people to coffee, people say, oh, I just want to pick at your brain. It's like, well, that costs money. So don't do that to people. Don't ask for free advice. Small questions are okay, because then that kind of a small question could be no big deal. And it kind of helps you start a conversation to say, like, hey, I'm into this thing. You're doing this thing. Maybe we can be friends or something. Talk about, you never know. So I feel like small questions are okay, but, and don't offer to trade, because somebody might not want your thing. So don't just assume that I do this and you want that. Like, let's trade. It's just, that's low money frequency stuff. Trading is not a good idea for any reason, in my opinion. I think you should pay the other person the amount that they want to be paid, and they should pay you the thing that you want to be paid, and you both are doing business with each other. And I feel like that's a way more positive experience. And look up other content, obviously, different podcasts, different videos, different whatever, like constantly search, because you might be on a desert island and there's no one successful to meet, or you can still make it happen. So that whole chapter, it's good and bad, in my opinion. There was kind of a time management element of that chapter, and I think it's like, if you have dreams and goals, you have to manage your own time. No one's going to tell you when to do it. So it's kind of like on you. If going to a bar and socializing, it might be a total waste of time for somebody else, but it could be great for you. It's just everyone has their own things that are a waste of time and not a waste of time. Okay, so that was 14. So chapter 15 was mastermind groups and accountability partners. So I was interested in this chapter because I've never really understood what the point of a mastermind group is, especially ones you pay for. Like, I just do not. There's mastermind groups that cost $30,000 just to be in. I do not understand. The accountability partner part just feels like someone else. You already know you're not achieving what you need to achieve, and if you get an accountability partner, I just feel like you're disappointing yourself and now someone new. It seems like a lot of pressure. So I've just never been an account. When people are like, let's meet and run at whatever time, it's just feels stressful. So he kind of goes into like what a mastermind group does, which I found helpful to know. So you meet, weekly or twice a month or once a month, and you get 5 or 6 people. This was his thing in the book. You spend 60 to 90 minutes. There's a timekeeper. Everyone gets a time to say what they kind of want to discuss for the day. And if you spend your whole time complaining, then you don't have any time for people to share their thoughts and give, kind of brainstorm with you and give you new ideas. So you want to kind of crunch that time down so that you can complain and get some help. So I did find the thing that he was talking about, which was kind of like making it a game, and you have these people you trust, and they're all kind of at the same success level, maybe in different things, but it did seem like that would be valuable to have a group like that. So I don't know, I found that chapter valuable. Chapter 16 was have a heart talk. So this was kind of about like having a place where everyone can come and talk about feelings without having getting your head bitten off by somebody. I feel like if you already have pretty good relationships with people, you wouldn't necessarily need this, but in a work environment when there's so many different personalities, I found that, I guess you have maybe a physical heart, like a piece of paper cut out, and everyone kind of gets to hold the torch in a way and to say their feelings. They won't get interrupted. They don't have to feel nervous or guilty. I think this is good for kids. When kids are having problems and you want to sit them down and make them figure it out themselves. Seemed like a good workplace thing. If you're working with other people in different projects and you feel like it's really hard to communicate, I feel like that heart meeting was a good advice. And the last chapter is chapter 17, is positive money mindset, which I'm always interested about. You know, they have you list the limiting beliefs about money. So the one thing that I did find that was valuable is like, okay, so you believe these things about money. Say my last question, which is, do you have to work for free to start a company, or could you figure out how to start a company where you're getting paid out the gate? You know, I find it's like a hard thing to say, like, no, you have to work a little bit for free, but maybe that's not the case. So anyway, so you find all the limiting beliefs that you have, and then you do some research of situations and times and different people that have overcome that money block that you have in your head. So I did like that suggestion. That was pretty good. Visualize, you know, figure out the solution, visualize you having the results that you want, and just repeat visualization until it's real. And then at the end of the book has a whole kind of like everything combined from the other chapters, so you have everything all together. And yeah, so then I read the book, I took my receipt, I went to his website, and I watched the hour 45-minute free video, which is kind of an equivalent to, you know, when all these course creators give you like their free webinar and it's like an intro to their course. Because at the end of the video, he's kind of selling something else, which I didn't mind. It's pretty jam-packed, entry-level goal setting, success plan stuff, but also there's no way, no matter how like seasoned you are with, you know, making things happen and positive thinking and all that stuff, you will get something if you read this book, and you can read it in a day. It's not too deep, but it's organized well, it's fast read. I feel like it's a really good gift if you have a complainer in your life that just blames everything on everything else but themselves. Even if they just read chapter 1, you're going to get your $20 worth. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up. I feel like I might have gone over 15 minutes for this last episode, but I just wanted to pack it in, and I'll come back tomorrow with something new. Whatever that might be, I don't know. But yeah, I'm just going to end the show, and I still don't know how to end the show, so I'm just going to play the music.